Good morning, fellow mathematicians. Welcome back to our video. Today we're going to discuss another topic in pre-calculus, and that topic is the x and y intercepts. The x and y intercepts. But before we start, let's change the color of our pen into dark blue because I'm not mad. Why are we using red? Now, let's get started. Previously, in the last video, we have discussed the graphs of equations in two variables and the different types of graphs of the famous equations that are known. The linear equation, quadratic equation, absolute value function, etc. Today, we're going to discuss another method or a method of determining the graph of a function of a two variable equation, and this is the x and y intercepts. Ano nga ba yun? Yan, definition. Given a graph of an equation in two variables, ibig sabihin, di ba, previously yun yung diniscuss natin, let's define an x-intercept is a value of x where the graph intersects the x-axis. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Kapag yung graph mo nag-touch sa x-axis, siya yung tinatawag na x-intercept. Yun ang gusto kong malinaw. This is the value of x when y is equal to 0. Why is that? Kasi di ba halimbawa meron tayong graph, tapos halimbawa ito yung ito yung graph mo. Tumama ka dito. Di ba halimbawa ito ay -1? Di ba ito yung point na -1, 0? Tama? Ibig sabihin, nag-touch ka sa x-axis because you don't have a value of y. Di ba wala kang katapat na sa y-axis na ito, itong vertical line na to? So, ibig sabihin, makukuha mo yung x-intercept when y is equal to 0. Correct? Similarly, a y-intercept is the value of y where the graph intersects the y-axis. Diba? Halimbawa, ito yung point na yan. Let's say arbitrarily this is 0, 1. Kasi diba, 1 yan. 1 to. Tama? Ngayon, makukuha mo yung y-intercept if yung x mo equal sa 0 kasi nga hindi ka nagtatouch dito sa horizontal line, dito sa x-axis. So, ganun lang yun basically. You're just substituting the counterparts at isiniset mo siya as 0. Kapag gusto mo mahanap ang x-intercept, you substitute y equals 0. Yung sa equation. Kapag naman gusto mo makuha yung y-intercept, yung counterpart na x, kailangan 0. In pictures, what do I mean by this? If we have a straight line, the x-intercept is this because tumama siya sa x-axis, itong horizontal line, and this is the y-intercept because tumama yung point na yun sa vertical line na ito, the y-axis. Diba? Ganun lang yan basically. And halimbawa, isang mabilisang let's have this one. May Cartesian plane ka. Let's change the color to red. Halimbawa, meron tayong graph na ganito yung itsura. Halimbawa, ganito yung itsura ng graph mo. Medyo, ayan. Medyo ganyan. Ganyan na itsura ng graph mo. And let's say, let's change the color to black. Let's say this is -2. Let's say this is, 2. This is 6. And this point is -1. Ngayon, pag sinabi, what are the x-intercepts? Pag tinanong, what are the x-intercepts? Ibig sabihin, yan yung mga points na tumama sa x-axis. Sino ba x-axis? Ito, di ba? Ito yung y-axis. Tumama sa x-axis. Sino yung mga yun? Let's change the color to green. Di ba ito? Ito. So, x-intercepts is -2, 2, and 6. Tama ba? And let's revert back the color to black. The y-intercepts naman, yung tumama sa y-axis. Sino yun? Ito yun, di ba? So, naharangan yung negative. So, yan. This is -1. Tama? Ganun lang yan, basically. So, or this is 0, -1. Tapos, balik natin sa green for a second. This is negative 2, 0. This is 2, 0. And this is 6, 0. Yan yun. Ito yung x-intercepts, tatlo. Ito yung y-intercepts. Ibig sabihin lang ba yan, isa palagi yung y-intercepts? No. Nagkataon lang na dyan lang siya tumama. Ito ba, itong point na to, bakit wala siyang ano? Kasi hindi naman siya nag-intersect sa x or y-axis. So, ordinary point lang yan. Ito na bilugan natin, mga special points yan kasi tumama siya or nag-intersect sa axis natin. Ayun lang ang gusto kong sabihin. Ngayon, may remark tayo. Let's zoom in a little bit. We denote the x-intercept by the ordered pair x, 0. Tama, di ba? Ganun yung ginawa natin kanina doon sa taas. Halimbawa, ito negative 2, ito negative 2 to, yung coordinate mo ay negative 2, 0. And likewise, we denote the y-intercept by the ordered pair 0, y. In this case, this is negative 1, and this intersects the y-axis. So, ibig sabihin, ang point mo is 0, negative 1. Ganun lang yun. Ngayon, number 3, given an equation in x and y, we have the following. A, the x-intercept or intercepts, pwedeng marami, is or are value or values of x when y is equal to 0. Ganun lang yun. Kapag x-intercept, set mo yung y equals 0. Kapag naman y-intercept or intercepts, is our value or values of y when x is equal to 0. Ganun lang yun, basically. So, let's have an example kasi medyo mahirap kapag gusto natin ano yun eh. Ngayon, we wish to determine the intercepts, x and y intercepts of the graph of y is equal to x cubed minus x squared. Ngayon, solution. Paano natin to gagawin? Ngayon, ito yung template. Unahin natin yung x-intercept. X-intercepts. Ngayon, paano natin yung gagawin? Set y is equal to 0. Paano yan nangyari? Diba, ganun yung method natin. So, we have 0 is equal to x cubed minus x squared. Yung y na yun, pinalitan mo lang ng 0. Ngayon, baliktarin natin. Kasi this is the orientation na nakasanay natin. Tapos, factor out x squared. Tama? Magiging x minus 1 is equal to 0. Kapag may ganitong given na naka-parenthesis na mangyayari, this implies that x squared is equal to 0 or x minus 1 is equal to 0. Palagi may or kasi may dalawang scenario na pwede mangyari. 'Di ba? Si x squared equals sa 0 or x minus 1 ay equal sa 0. Kapag daw ang isang function or isang variable naka-square at equal siya sa 0, ano implication nun? 'Di ba kailangan palaging positive? Halimbawa, 'di ba, negative 4 squared, kapag negative, 16 yan, positive. Kapag naman 4 squared, 16, positive yan. Paano naman kapag yung naka-square na yon ay equal sa 0? Ano ibig sabihin natin doon? Ibig sabihin, this implies that x is equal to 0. Tama? Or kumbaga, square root both sides, square root of 0, 0. Ganun lang ibig sabihin nun. Or, x is equal to positive 1. Ibig sabihin, ang x-intercepts mo naglalay sa point 0, 0 and 1, 0. Doon siya tumatama. Ngayon, para naman sa y-intercepts, paano gagawin natin? Set x is equal to 0. Paano naman nangyari yun? Di ba napapansin nyo, kung x equal to 0, nakita na natin ito yun, no? Di ba? So, ang ibig sabihin, 0, 0 na yung automatically. Pero for the sake of the solution, kailangan natin siyang ipakita. Ngayon, y is equal to 0 cube minus 0 squared. Paano yan? 0 cube is 0, minus 0, edi 0. Y is equal to 0. Daming 0, no? Therefore, ang y-intercept daw ay nasa 0, 0. Ibig sabihin, ito yung tatlong points. Ibig sabihin, yung graph ng equation na ito can be seen, nag-i-intersect lang sa axis natin, dito sa x and y axis natin, nag-i-intersect lang daw siya sa following points na nasa given. Itong 0, 0, saka 1, 0. Ito yung 0, 0, ito yung 1, 0. Ngayon, tanong, Sir, how can we verify this? We will use a graphing apparatus. Ngayon, let's change the ito. Naka-plot na siya. y is equal to x cubed minus x squared. Nakikita nyo? Nakikita nyo dito, itong red line na ito yung graph na equation na to. Tama? So, ibig sabihin, nag-intersect siya sa 0, 0, saka 1, 0, which is tama dun sa sinasabi natin. Ang application pala nito is GeoGebra. You can plot points here. This is the graphing apparatus natin. Ayun, stop share and let's change the, ito, balik tayo dun sa paper. Ayun. Let's say we have another example. Ito. Show that the equation y is equal to the absolute value of x plus 1 has no x-intercepts. Paano natin yung mapapakita? Hindi na natin kailangan pakialaman yung y-intercept kasi hindi naman hinahanap. Ngayon, let's have a solution. Ngayon, x-intercepts. Paano natin to gagawin? Set y is equal to 0. So, 0 is equal to absolute value of x plus 1. Baliktarin natin, absolute value of x plus 1 is equal to 0. This implies that absolute value of x is equal to negative 1. Ano napapansin nyo? Kapag ba ikaw kumukuha ka ng absolute value ng isang number, kahit kailan nagiging negative ba? Diba halimbawa, absolute value of negative 4. Diba yan ay 4? Absolute value of 4 ay 4. Ang absolute value of 0 is 0. Kahit kailan hindi siya nagiging negative. So we have a contradiction. What do I mean by contradiction? Ibig sabihin, there is no real solution to this problem. Walang ganyan. In symbols, ganyan natin siya sinusulat. Parang arrow, ganito, tapos may arrow, ganyan. This is a symbol for contradiction. May contradiction ka. Therefore, there are no x-intercepts. Yan ang conclusion natin. There are no x-intercepts. Just for the fun of it, let's find the y-intercept kung meron man. Hindi man hiningi ng problem, pero for the fun of it, let's determine it. Ngayon, for the y-intercepts, set x be equal to 0. Paano yun? So, magiging y is equal to the absolute value of 0 plus 1. So, magiging 0 plus 1 or 1. Diba? Therefore, 0, 1 is a y-intercept. Is a y-intercept. Ngayon, let's verify this in the graphing apparatus. Stop share. And let's go to GeoGebra again. Let's change the given as absolute value of x plus 1. Ayun, nakikita nyo, di ba? Yung graph niya, tumama sa 0, ito yun, 0, 1. Diyan siya tumama. And this graph will never intersect the x-axis. Tama ba? So, ayun ang gusto kong sabihin dito sa example na ito. Now, let's go back to the examples. Ayun. Let's have example 3. Determine the x and y intercepts of the graph of the equation y is equal to x squared minus 1. Di ba familiar? Nakikita niyo yung ano? Di ba familiar to the equation na to? In the last video, we have discussed this. Di ba? We have graphed this. In fact, ayan, i-graph natin. We will not use GeoGebra anymore muna dito sa example na ito. Ayun. This is x. Ngayon, let's have this is negative 1. This is 1. This is 1. This is negative 2. This is 1. This is 2. This is negative 1. Ngayon, di ba, nakapapansin ninyo, ito, naalala ko, this is hanggang 3. Ngayon, let's change the color to black. Di ba, nag-i-intersect siya sa negative 1, 0. Ito, dun sa previous example natin. If you want, you can go back to that video to recall. Tapos, ito yung graph niya. Ito. Visually, we can say that the x-intercepts Di ba, by the graph, this is negative 1 and 1. Tama? And the y-intercept visually is negative 1. Tama ba? Let's verify this by doing the method na ginawa natin. Visually, okay siya. Nakikita natin eh. Ganyan ang graph niya eh. Ngayon, for the x-intercepts, paano siya? Set y be equal to 0. So, magiging 0 is equal to x squared minus 1. Baliktarin natin, x squared minus 1 is equal to 0. X squared is equal to 1. Now, or pwede naman natin gawing i-factor out na lang natin just to do the right method. Wag natin i-transfer of square root both sides. I-factor natin na x plus 1 and x minus 1 because this is a difference of two squares. Tama, a difference of two squares. Ano ibig sabihin ng difference of two squares? Kung naalala nyo, x plus y, x minus y is equal to x squared minus y squared. Yan ang difference of two squares. Yung 1, yun yung y dito. So, magiging this implies that x plus 1 is equal to 0 or, lalagyan ng or, x minus 1 is equal to 0. This implies that x is equal to negative 1 or x is equal to positive 1. Sino yan? Sino yan? Sino tong dalawang to? Ito yan. Tama? Ngayon, let's have the y-intercepts. Y-intercepts. Set y be equal, set x be equal to 0. Paano? Ngayon, y is equal to x squared minus 1, di ba? So, 0 squared minus 1 or negative 1. Sino yan? Y is equal to negative 1. Sino ito? Ito. So, visually, nakikita natin, yan ang x and y intercepts ng graph na yun. Okay? Ayun, let's have a little bit a harder example. Let's have a harder example. Determine the x and y intercepts of the equation y is equal to 4x squared plus 9 all over x squared minus 9. Diba? Parang it seems like a complicated example. But really, it's not. Ngayon, let's see. X-intercepts. Paano natin to gagawin, guys? X-intercept, set. Siguro nagsasawa na kayo sa template. Set y equals to 0, di ba? So, 0 is equal to 4x squared plus 9 all over x squared minus 9. Tama, di ba? Ngayon, baliktarin natin. 4x squared plus 9 all over x squared minus 9 is equal to 0. Ngayon, multiply both sides by x squared minus 9. Ang mangyayari, ayun, siguro para makita ninyo yung nangyari, susulat ko na siya. Ayun, x squared minus 9 multiplied. Tapos, ito yung x squared minus 9. Pag ganyan, ganito, x squared minus 9. And let's change the color to blue. Ngayon, magiging 4x squared plus 9 all over x squared minus 9 equal to, ito 0. Nakita niyo yung technique na ginawa ko? Kasi tamad eh. Para hindi ko na ibalik sa ano. Ngayon, we multiplied both sides of the equation by x squared minus 9. So, magka-cancel ito. Kasi ito yung 1. 1 lang yan, di ba? Hindi na nagka-cancel actually. 1 yan. Pag nakakita ka ng pareho na fraction, numerator and denominator, 1 yan. As minultiply mo dito, kaya pareho lang. Ngayon, ito 0 to. Kasi any number or anything that multiplied by 0 is 0. Kaya, ano mangyayari? Let's go back to blue. Ang mangyayari, this is 4x squared plus 9 is equal to 0. Tama? Ano mangyayari? Let's subtract 9 from both sides. 4x squared is equal to negative 9. Divide both sides by 4. This implies that x squared, this implies that x squared is equal to negative 9 all over 4. What do you notice in this given? Kapag ba nag-i-square ka, nagiging negative ba? Halimbawa, let's say negative 2 squared. Di ba 4? 2 squared is 4. Ito yung negative case. ito yung positive case, ito yung zero case. Kaya pag 0 squared, automatically you're 0. Diba? Kahit kailan, when you're squaring, you don't have a result that is negative. So therefore, a contradiction or in symbols, yung ganito. Ano ibig sabihin if you have a contradiction? Therefore, there are no x-intercepts. There are no x-intercepts. Diba? Ngayon, kapag ba walang x-intercept, it doesn't necessarily imply na walang y-intercept? No. Check natin. Ngayon, y-intercept. Y-intercepts. Paano? Set x be equal to 0. Paano? Given natin ay y is equal to 4x squared plus 9 all over x squared minus 9. So magiging 4 multiplied by 0 squared plus 9 all over 0 squared minus 9. So this implies that y is equal to 0 plus 9 all over 0 minus 9, or 9 over negative 9, or negative 1. Y is equal to negative 1. Therefore, 0, negative 1. Paano ito nakukuha yung 0, negative 1? Ito yung x kasi, ito yung y. X ito, y ito. Ngayon, is a y-intercept. Ibig sabihin, wala kang x-intercept, hindi ka nag-i-intersect sa x-axis, pero yung graph na equation na ito equation na to, nag-i-intersect sa y-axis at the point 0, negative 1. And let's verify this. Diba? Patunayan natin. Ngayon, nandito ulit tayo sa trusty Desmos. Ngayon, y is equal to 4x squared plus 9 all over. Ngayon, kailangan muna natin gawin siyang fraction. Ito, over, ngayon, 4x squared, ano yun, plus 9, mali, plus 9 all over x squared minus 9. Ayan, minus 9. Enter. Ngayon, nakikita natin, ganyan na itsura ng graph ng equation na to. Napaka-complicated. Nakikita nyo itong mga red na to, hindi siya nag-intersect sa x and y axis. So wala tayong pakialam sa kanila dun sa mga linya na yan. What we're concerned is dito. Nag-intersect siya sa y-axis, hindi natin nakikita negative 1 dito. Pero if we zoom in, we can actually see that this graph intersect at 0, negative 1 as expected. Diba? Sasabi may term pa tong extremum. Malalaman nyo yan in the calculus part of this discussion. Pero graphically, at least alam nyo na the y-intercept is only 0, negative 1. Ayun. I hope you learned something today. I hope that you appreciate the visualization using GeoGebra. You can actually try it for yourself. You can download the application and use it in your convenience para makapag-graph. And till then, mathematicians will be discussing in the next video the concepts of line, the perpendicular and parallel lines, etc. Until then, mathematicians, keep safe and see you next video. Goodbye now.